right, welcome back to another Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. It is Monday, August 16th. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got an action-packed show. We're going to get right into it with our first guest. Young lady, I know that if anybody's been paying attention, they should know who you are, but just in case they don't, please introduce yourself and who you're with.
Great. I'm Liz Tice. I'm the Executive Director at the Children's Discovery Museum. We're located at 1205 Sam Houston in the old Playhouse Theater. Really fun place for kids to come and play and learn and experience all things STEAM related.
Yes, ma'am. And on that note, don't forget we will post in the comment or the narrative paragraph, whatever you call that thing below, the post below, the thingy. We will post their link from the Meet Victoria episode that we did. We had a lot of fun. We went on site with them, really showed a lot of their stuff, their exhibits, and what makes them special. So be sure you check that out. And now that I've done plugging our show, go ahead, let's talk. I hear you guys have all sorts of new events and exciting things coming up, and I'm glad you're here to share a few of those, so talk to me.
Yeah, thanks for letting us come out and talk about what's going on.
Big fan.
School's starting back, so we are working on some new programming for the kids and the families that come to the museum. In August, we are starting our next round of Tiny Tunes classes. We partner with some local music therapists from One Sound, One Heart Music Therapy, and they do a 6 weeks class. It happens on Tuesday mornings, and it's a really wonderful experience for parents to bring their kids and learn about music, neurological development. I could go all day talking about
I think the
all
important
of that.
question though is, would they allow me to join this
Absolutely.
class? I mean,
You
I'm
and
on
your
like
son.
tiny toddler level, like it's that bad with my rhythm and everything
Yeah.
else, and so
So it's actually a parent and kid class.
Even better.
So you could bring your son and do some drumming, some movement, some musical playing, and it's for ages 0 to 36 months. And then we have a family tunes that's like 5 years and younger, and it's for siblings
I was
as well.
saying, now nobody's gonna be there with a video camera like catching me
Maybe.
dancing in the
Maybe.
corner, are they?
I
Okay,
might
well,
sneak down there with the camera and
you may
post it.
regret that if you see me dance. You may not want to do that, but no, I think that's spectacular, and that's
It's
something
wonderful.
we really work on with my son. Is, you know, I joke, but I have no musical talent, and so we've tried to just immerse my son in music, and I was just telling the guys this morning how we can't get out the door without having to play the same song for him like 50 times so he can
that's
dance all around the room.
wonderful.
So that program really interests me because I think music is really good for kids and
Absolutely.
it teaches them a ton. And so anyway, I'm sorry, I get all excited and keep going.
Well,
what else you got?
Well, like I studied music in college, so
that's your
music
thing,
therapy
huh?
is a passion of mine. And you think about how we learned our ABCs. We learned them by singing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just kind of laying the foundation for learning, kind of moving forward.
And is it?
And music is scientific. I mean, you think of musical notes; they turn into fractions. It's really I'm
Do you
amazing.
think
at
it's
math
something
'cause I
that somebody like me, like as a child, I shoot, even as an adult, I struggle with rhythm. Is it something like one of those things where you think that like even I'm teachable? Like even
Absolutely.
Caleb can maybe learn some rhythm?
Absolutely. If you talk to Betsy, who is one of the therapists
Mm-hmm.
from One Sound, One Heart, she says everyone can sing. Everyone has some sort of a musical ability. It's just trying to figure out where it's at.
What else you got?
In September, we're going to be starting our homeschool program up again. Details we're still finalizing everything, but they should be starting. We're thinking about Tuesday afternoons or Thursdays. I'm not exactly sure.
We'll figure it out.
We're actually outsourcing with a local teacher.
Nice.
She is going to kind of create the curriculum and do the lessons, and it's going to be a wonderful experience for our homeschool students.
How cool.
Information about that, Tiny Tunes, all of this will be on Facebook, and we're getting a new website. We're so excited about this. We
Watch
are.
out. We've
and
got
so
one
that'll
coming
be
too. That's big times,
Yes,
huh?
It is.
Moving
it's
on up.
huge. It's huge. We're so excited. We have a local company that's willing to do it for us.
Well,
so
well
we're
earned.
happy.
You guys have put in the work for sure.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
awesome.
So homeschool's coming. We are also going to be starting some robotic and rocket club for summer camps. Our older kids ages 9 to 13.
I still feel like a
Yeah.
child at 19.
Yeah,
42,
same.
and I still feel like a kid,
Well,
but go ahead, it's all right.
Yeah, so our summer camps, we had 2 different camps that focused on robots, battle robots specifically. So they would they would build them. Yeah, we actually have a new style of robots that are easier to build and more hardy. And
Well, those kids kicked my butt last
did.
time, so yeah, let me have the first new one to go kick
well,
those
we're going
kids'
to be
butts.
doing a robotics club, and we'll have like a quarterly robot battle. We'll have some different types of robots, coding classes for ages 9 and above.
Yeah, those kids were good though, and they put in a lot of work, and they created
were.
some pretty good. I remember one of them's name was Larry, the robot. It was like all these, Dark Battle Knight, all these names, and then Larry. And I just that one killed me. It was so funny. But no, that great. Sorry, I get all excited. I love this stuff.
No, it's fun. Well, the other thing we did, we've added last year was rocketry. So I don't know, the SD's rockets, you can paint them, build them. They have little combustible engines. You put them in and you shoot them up, and they just go really high, and then they kind of parachute back down.
It sounds like it's time for us to go back.
Fun.
Like,
it
you
is.
gotta when's adult night? Like you guys need to have an adult night over there. Maybe serve some cocktails and well, I don't know if cocktails and rockets go together,
no,
but
probably
we're
not.
adults. We could figure out something.
Yeah, but we're looking at getting those going as
Gotcha.
well, and partnering with some local schools and their students, and doing some fun stuff.
You mentioned the partnering. On that note, is there anything from the community that you guys need right now, like partners or sponsors, or is there any specific needs right now that we can address or maybe help you with?
Sure. We are always needing donations, be it tangible items like glue. I mean, you can't imagine how much glue we go through.
And with glue costs going up, and then everybody, and
Yeah.
a lot of obviously COVID took a hit, and I'm sure y'all's remember, foot
visit.
traffic and stuff. That's the biggest thing, is show up.
Show up. Come to our museum. See, we are still, our cleaning process, our cleaning procedures are still at the same level they were, and they're going to continue to be. We're rounding regularly. We're cleaning. Our staff are wearing masks in the museum. I mean, we're doing our best to try to keep everybody safe.
No, and you do a good job, and it's important, guys, that you show up to these places and go, because they can keep everything as clean as they can and do all this. But if you guys aren't going, it's all for nothing, and so it's very important that they have our support and they feel our support. And again, nobody's telling you to be unsafe, but and if you don't feel good, don't do it. But in that same breath, know how hard they are working to make this feel good for you and feel safe, and make it to where you have fun, and so make sure you go over there and support them. What else? Sorry.
As far as sponsorships, we have opportunities coming up with different events and things happening. We have a big Halloween event. We could always use the sponsors for that. We're still working on gala stuff. So there's lots of opportunities.
Good.
We did receive some grant funding very recently to upgrade all of our security. So we are getting some new security measures installed in the building.
Great.
And it's really exciting.
Yeah, no, that's big times.
I'm really excited.
Good,
that was
good.
a huge blessing to be able to get that grant. We also received another grant from the Texas Women's for the Art. Kind of goes back to me and art, music,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
all that. So we are going to be doing monthly arts workshops, and each month we'll focus on a different art or a different craft or a different set of skills. The first month will be in September, and we're actually going to have Betsy and Molly do a drum circle with the kids.
Outstanding.
So, and that is fully funded by the Texas Commission on the Arts, the Texas Women's for the Art.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Well,
we're excited about that.
That's too cool.
Yeah, and throughout the school year, the academic year, we'll be doing those on a Saturday once a month, and we'll have different ones. Like I think the ballet folklorico, I can never say that. They're going to come and dance. We're going to do some watercoloring.
Say it one more time.
Folklorico. Folk.
Yeah, that one's on you.
Yeah.
Folklore. I'm not even going to try that one.
I'm excited about
Steve
that.
will put captions of me trying to say that across the bottom, like subtitles. I'm not even going to.
Exactly.
That's not folklore.
Folklorico.
We'll put it in there. You got it. You got it.
I don't, though. That's really. But so stay tuned for announcements as those come along via our Facebook and our brand new website.
Roger that. Well, make sure you also come and let us know.
Absolutely.
Visit the set. We'd love to have you on anytime you guys have events.
We've got so much going on. Anytime you need Spiller, holler
Well,
at
we're
me.
big fans, and my buddy Mark and his daughter go over there all the time, and she loves it over there. And so, yes, ma'am, thank you so much for what you guys are doing. We appreciate you. Did I forget anything?
Well, we do. We have a new exhibit. Our traveling hall has been filled with our blue blocks on our roller coaster for quite a while. We're really excited to be bringing in a brand new exhibit. It's called Framed. And it's an arts immersion type of an experience. We had a local donor that is funding it, and we're just really excited. That should be coming end of September.
Outstanding. Well, I can't wait for the sneak peek. That sounds like a ton of fun. Guys, make sure you go check them out. Children's Discovery Museum. They do an awesome, passionate job over there, and they want to see you show up because they want to entertain you and they want you to have fun and to learn something. So stay tuned. Go check them out, and stay tuned. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Since 1932, Wallach & Volk has been closing mortgages and doing it the right way. The reason why the Volks opened up a bank at the height of the Great Depression was because the bank needed to be opened at the height of the Great Depression. And it was good for the community at that time. A lot of the banks were going under. In order to keep that community sound and stable, it was something that they did. I think that that says something about who Wallach and Volk was 85 years ago. And the only way you get to continue to do it is if you consistently do it great. And we plan on doing this for another 85 years.
All right, welcome back, guys. We've got our next guest. This is a really cool thing that goes on every year in the community, and we're glad to get behind it, glad to support it. But I will shut up now, and without further ado, let my guests introduce themselves and tell you exactly why they're here and why I'm so excited. So, young lady, if you don't mind.
My name's Jena West. I am the Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator for Victoria City and County, but on a personal level, here to help represent the St. Baldricks Foundation here in Victoria.
Roger that.
My name is Richard Jankovsky. I'm Highway Patrol Lieutenant here in Victoria. This is one of 7 counties that I'm over, but I too am here to talk about the St. Baldricks Foundation. I'm here today as the father of a childhood cancer survivor, and that is what brought me to this foundation and this group.
Yes, sir. Well, before we go on, thank you so much for what you do. I'm the son of a retired Texas DPS and a ranger, and I'm very partial to you guys, and so I appreciate what you do, and I'm very grateful and really admire really admire you guys, and so thank you for that. And so let's talk about your deal here. This is pretty exciting. I know you guys have a lot of success with this every year, but we want to make it even bigger. So talk me through it.
Sure. So the St. Baldricks Foundation is primarily a foundation to raise money to promote or to help research for childhood cancer, and they are only second to federal funding that helps to fund research for childhood cancer. And so it's a pretty big deal, at least, of course, the individuals that are part of it think so. And I definitely think that it's important to promote that information to the general public and everyone that, has some stake in the game, which is everyone. I consider it an investment in our future. Is these children, cancer or not, deserve the same future that anyone else has. And that research will help to get them there. But I digress that St. Baldrick's here in Victoria is doing just that. We have an event coming up in September that will help to raise money through donations and funding for childhood cancer awareness, and then of course the research itself. But maybe let Lieutenant talk a little about that too.
The cancer is the #1 disease killer of children. And I looked up some stats just briefly just a minute ago. In 2021, there are 10,500 children in the United States that are expected to hear the same thing that we were told in 2014 with our daughter. And through her journey, we have learned that of all the money that is allocated for childhood cancer research, all the money that the federal government allocates for cancer research, less than 4% goes to childhood specific cancers. And if it weren't for private donations and organizations like this foundation, the treatment paths would not be where they are today. And the survivability rate has increased from in the 70s at 58% to today at 84% survivability rate for these cancers. And it is because of people supporting events like this, helping fund research that is giving these children the opportunity they deserve at life. And September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. It is designated by a gold ribbon. Everybody knows October is pink, but before we go pink, let's go gold and let people know that our kids do get sick. Our kids do die from cancer. It is the #1 disease killer of children, and it is significantly underfunded. The research just goes unnoticed, and kid cancer is different than adult cancer. And most people don't even think about it until they're told their child has cancer. That was when it got on our radar. Yes, and I must say, my daughter's doing well. She is 1 doctor appointment away from being deemed cured. She is going to college now to become a child life specialist, which is something we learned about at the Driscoll Children's Hospital, where she received all of her treatment at. And through this foundation, she has raised enough money where she has been able to specify that donations to her team are funding leukemia research and research to reduce the long-term side effects of chemotherapy. And she decided that on her own. And we couldn't do what we do without people coming out and supporting these events. Club Westerner, we can't thank them enough. They donate the hall to us. This is a volunteer-based organization, so any expenses that we can minimize is more that goes directly into funding this much-needed research.
Well, I'll tell you a few things stuck out to me there is one, I think you're spot on that a lot of times you don't even think of these things until you get that call. And I'll tell you, my son's about to turn 2, and as a newer parent, I got goosebumps when you started talking because I relate to those things now differently, and those, just hearing you talk about getting that phone call sent chills through me, and it like I don't even, I'm still that thing where like commercials make me cry and stuff right now from being a new parent, and I can't even imagine getting that call, and you're right, a lot of these things, you support them in theory, and hey, that's a good thing, but until it's personalized or hits your doorstep,
Yes.
you don't devote a lot of thought to it, and that's why I think this is such a neat thing, and and some of these bald heads sticking out, like it also it gathers attention, and I know my buddy Mark Banda for a couple years at a road had been trying to get me to shave my head and stuff and all this, but I think this is so phenomenal because you just hit such a good point. Is I didn't even know that the kid cancers were different and all these things, like, and there's just, it made me aware of how much I don't know. And so I thank you guys for taking the time to not only raise funds for them, but to also raise awareness, and like most things, until it hits your doorstep, like we just said, it's not personalized to you and all that. But I think this is wonderful that you do, and things like people like Club Westerner donating the hall. One good thing about Victoria is we rally behind our own, and we
Absolutely.
seem to take care of our own. But I also think it's neat how you guys are working together in different organizations, coming together to help each other. What is typically, what can we do to support this? What does it need right now? What is its main, what can we do as the public to make sure you have the most successful event that you can with this?
Sure. The biggest turnout that we typically have are our first responders, or our different first responding agencies. And every year, the organization tries to, I guess, for lack of better terms, challenge those first responding agencies to see who can raise the most money for the year. And so Victoria Fire Department, Victoria Police Department, Victoria County Sheriff's Office, Victoria County Fire Department, Texas DPS here in Victoria, they all kind of band together in a good sense of camaraderie, in a competitive way, because we know that's how first responding agencies function, is who can do what better. But of course, for a good cause, is to see
madam.
how many staff members they can have sign up for their team. So we have, I know 2 of them or 3 of them right now. We have DPS, and then Victoria Fire and Victoria Police Department right now that have teams designated on the St. Baldricks Foundation website for our event specifically. And individuals can go onto that website and either donate money on behalf of that agency, or they can just donate anonymously if they want to, or even on behalf of themselves. So like if you wanted to donate on your own, it would be on behalf of Caleb Shaw. Also, individuals can just help to volunteer if they want to at the event, and they can also sign up to become a shavee, which means that they would be the individuals that are helping to set a goal to raise X amount of dollars, and people would donate on their behalf because they're shaving their head on the day of the event. And I know a lot of individuals would think, well, why would I want to shave my head? But in a sense, it really gives those kids and those children who do have this impacting their life the opportunity to understand that there's others that are banding together with them, that as they go to school and they may not have hair on their head and they have to wear a hat to school, or they feel like they may be more vulnerable to bullying and things like that, it gives them that opportunity to understand that we're here with you.
We stand with you.
Even if it's not just the monetary donations, we're here for you in a multifaceted way. But the best thing that an individual can do if they don't want to shave their head or they don't have the time to volunteer is just to donate. I mean, any amount does something. Of course, anything is better than nothing. $5, $10, however much they can afford, is to go onto that St. Baldrick's Foundation website and to just donate to the cause. Every single penny goes to the foundation. We take nothing with us from the event at the end of the day. So I would say that's
Gotcha. And
best
we'll
way.
put the website down below.
Sure.
Do you guys have a Facebook page?
We do. It is St. Baldricks, Victoria County.
Roger that. Well, guys, thank you so much. Is there anything that I forgot that I need to hit on? I know that time went real quickly, and so we may have you guys back on again.
Be happy to
and-
come back whenever.
Yeah, of course, whenever.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the sheriff's department might get mad at me, but I'm going to make a donation to Team DPS there. I think, there's not as many of you guys as there is the other one, so you
Thank
need the
you.
extra help, and
Thank
we'll
you.
come through for you. But all seriousness, again, thank you for what you do,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thanks for keeping our state safe and the road safe and all the other hats that DPS is having to do right now,
Thank
along
you.
with our other law enforcement. And thank you for what you do too, ma'am.
Of course.
I appreciate you, and it's one team, one fight,
Of course,
and we're all in this
absolutely.
together. And
Yes,
so
sir.
appreciate you guys so much. We will be right back with our next guest. All right, guys, welcome back. We are with our final guest today, our final panel of guests today, and I'm pretty pumped for this one. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, though. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then I'm going to get ahead of myself. So, if you wouldn't mind, young lady, introduce yourself, and we'll just go down the line.
So my name is Brianna Valenzuela. I'm the public service librarian at the Victoria Public Library, and I run the adult programs there.
Roger that.
I'm Jessica Berger, the Assistant Director of the Victoria Public Library, and I oversee programming.
I'm Andrew Hilburn. I'm a library assistant with the Victoria Public Library in adult programming.
Roger that. Now I'm going to get ahead of myself because we were down out and about filming the other day with my real estate company, and I decided to dip into the library. I hadn't been to a library since probably the second or third grade, and yes, I'm diming myself out like that, but in my mind, that library kind of aged the same way, and I was kind of expecting an old building with some dusty books and not very much fun. I was completely wrong and completely blown away. I walked in there, and this library puts Hastings to shame. And one, immediately as I walked through, I was just welcomed. The whole staff was just spectacular, so kind, so welcoming. And they just made us feel right at home. And I think they saw the big old deer in the headlights look because I was just kind of overwhelmed at the awesomeness of it. And so before we go on, I just wanted to commend you guys and make sure everybody knows that you guys have put together something pretty special over there. And I in my mind, wrongly just thought that public libraries were dying and who needs to go to these, and I was wrong. And so, good job. Good job to all of you. Your hard work was very apparent the second I walked through the door, and it made me pretty proud to have a public library like that in Victoria because you guys, I'll admit I haven't been to a bunch, but I feel like you're setting the bar on how it should be. And so before we proceed, one more time, I just want to say thank you and well done, guys. All of your hard work was evident. So anyway, let's get into the adult classes because, or all the stuff you have, because the library is not just for kids to go in there and check out books. It's really kind of changed over the years. And so tell me how wrong I was about all this and what all you guys have going.
So, like you said, libraries just aren't books anymore. We want to be that community hub for people to come, enjoy themselves, meet other community members, learn, have fun.
And I know we got to talk in there a little bit and see things, and your passion really just shined through of you were talking about the different people you work with and their passions and what they bring to the table, and it really got through to me because you were just so passionate about it, and now I see why, and so with that, tell me, let's go through some of these things, and well, let's, from an administrative, umbrella, what have you gotten or what are you so just fired up about with this thing? Like, you bring this passion to the table. Tell me about it.
Well, like you were describing your vision of a library. Well, that vision is a warehouse for books. Mm-hmm. And as you can see, we're not a warehouse for books. We're a living, breathing, thriving place. A library is a building, but it's about what's inside the building, what you find in there, how you connect. And again, it's about just creating that space. We are not a space where you don't have to come in to buy anything. You don't have to come in to do anything. You just come in. And again, it could be either you're looking for a cookbook, you're looking for a hobby, or you're just coming in to come to one of our programs. We're there for you. We're there for, we don't tell you what we're there for, we're just there for you. So when it comes to that fire, that passion, it's about the people, the community. How awesome is it that we get to meet everybody in the community that wants to walk through the doors? We get to say hi to you, and we get to help you, or we get to just visit with you.
Yes, ma'am. My brother, you were in there and you gave us some great help that day, and you were I noticed you were all over the place too, making things happen. What is it about the library that you enjoy so much and being a part of, and what classes what is your involvement up there as well?
Well, we definitely love developing programs for our community, but I would say first and foremost, the joy is helping our patrons. That's the first aspect of the job, is providing the best customer service we can in any need that they have at all. So helping people is my passion. I get to do that with the library, and then on top of it, the icing on the cake is just developing cool programs to give to our patrons, like live music, film screenings, book discussions. It's promotion of literacy, life learning, education, and entertainment. It's
Outstanding.
awesome.
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, I didn't know a fraction of those things were happening up there. And so let's talk about some of these things, if you don't mind. If you would, take me through a few of these classes and things you guys have coming up.
So we do offer a variety of like fun arts and crafts programs. We just want to provide that opportunity to the community to come express their creativity in a fun and welcoming environment. So you get to, and you also get to talk and meet a bunch of cool people that share that same hobby.
I mean, I did walk in there the other day. I mean, I'm sure I left and everybody was like, wow, that guy was so cool. Or he talked a lot. Let's not discuss what y'all actually said, but anyway, go on. I'm sorry, bad joke.
So this evening we'll actually be doing a terrarium program where you can come in, create your own terrarium using globe ornaments and succulents. We'll provide everything for you. Programs are free and open to everybody, so come in and join us at 6 p.m. We also try and offer something different each month, either whether it's a craft or an art. We have a collage group that meets every first Tuesday, and that one's just really fun and relaxing. It's fun to see what everyone creates. And then the second and fourth Thursday of every month, we have a yarn craft group that comes in. So this is open to anyone that likes to crochet, knit, cross stitch, sew. It's a fun group of ladies that most of them are like retired teachers or librarians, and it's fun to hear their stories. It's open whether you have no experience with this. They're willing to teach you and help you get started. And
they probably enjoy having the new faces in there to learn and to pass that craft on to.
Oh, yes,
and
definitely.
And that's one of those things, crocheted, sewing, got all that you don't think you need it until you need it. And then you're like, that's a heck of a skill to have. And one more thing I probably should add to the list of all the things I'm behind on and need to do. What are some of the other ones? I know you've got a book in here today with you. And
we also offer more book-related programs. We have a ghostwriter group that meets the third Saturday of every month. So they have one coming up August 21st from 1 to 3. This group they actually started about 3 years ago during National Novel Writing Month. They enjoyed it so much that they just wanted to keep continuing, so they meet every third Saturday. It's open to anyone that just wants to start writing or has experience writing. Some of them in there are published writers, some are just getting started. They enjoy coming in to just get feedback from each other, share what they've accomplished, and get any trouble, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's super.
With our book group, we have a true crime book group that just started, and we have a manga madness club that meets. So manga and true crime are probably some of our popular stuff that get checked out at the library, so we wanted to jump on that.
So tell me about a little bit about the true crime one first, and then tell me about the other one.
Okay.
Because I've been hearing about the true crime thing a little bit, and that sounds kind of cool, and so.
True crime is one of those things that people get obsessed with, so this is a fun group that come in. The discussions are really lively. They meet the last Monday of every month. So this month we've been reading the Lazarus Files.
Okay.
It's about one of the most controversial cases in Los Angeles that involves like a love triangle and a cold case that just got solved probably 10 years ago because of DNA evidence. Especially with this group, you really don't have to read the book because there's so many podcasts or documentaries and stuff you can watch. So if you're into true crime, come join us. It's a BYOB also, so you feel free to bring in a drink.
I'm going to send my mother-in-law out there. She watches all those detective and courtroom shows and all that, and then you go knock on her door during one of those shows, she gets too scared to answer it and all that, so I'll send her up there. She's pretty rowdy. My mother-in-law would come up there and take up BYOB. She'll do well up there. Yeah. Mama, don't get mad at me. I mean that with all the love in my heart. I'm going to get in trouble now when I go home. Thanks. Way to go. No, that sounds fun. Tell me, manga night. Is that what you said?
Manga.
That's what I meant. Manga night. That's what I said. You just heard that wrong.
They will get on to you if you don't say it right.
Okay, so Manga?
Manga.
Manga night. Tell me about it.
So this is a group that's open to teens and adults. It's for anyone that likes manga or anime series. It's such a fun group.
So manga's its own thing. I know they're all going to get mad. I'm sorry, I'm learning with you guys, but I've heard of
are
anime.
the books,
right?
And animes are kind of based on the books, or
Okay.
the animated series.
I gotcha. So what does that entail, actually?
So they'll come in, we can provide them with like trivia or craft activities, just fun things for them to do. But what they really enjoy is just talking and meeting with other people and nerding out. So
No, I'm all for nerding out. I nerd out in several different things in my life, and I think everybody needs to have something that they're passionate enough to nerd out about, because nerding out is fun, especially when you got the right one. One of the things, I know we got to start wrapping this up, but I've noticed how y'all keep talking about how you're supporting this group or you're supporting that group, and which I think is neat. Say I had a group or a club or something like that, and we wanted to become more public and we wanted to have a place to meet and incorporate. Would you suggest I come up there to talk to you guys to see if there's maybe a window where we could work and help each other and bring some more groups and all that?
yeah, you could always come talk to me or Andrew. We're always open to starting new groups, especially if you're willing to share with the community your interests or hobbies. And
Good deal. Well, guys, I wanted to get them on right now because, like I said, I was completely blown away by them when I went over there. And I mean, you could see they have a whole list of stuff. I mean, how many events did you have during the summer, or how many people came in there? You gave me a number that just kind of baffled me.
Our summer programs run in June and July, and we had 120 programs. That's children's programs and adult programs combined, and we had 8,200 people attend.
Wow. Well, guys, we will have them on a whole lot more, because as these individual classes and different groups and stuff meet, I want to have them come over where we can spend a little more time on each and every one. But for right now, I wanted you to get in and see their faces. So this is who's going to greet you when you walk in there. They're going to tell you to come on in and have fun. But I wanted to make sure I got the ball rolling on just how wrong I was, and letting the community know that I hope everybody wasn't as dumb as I was on this. And if you were, it's okay. Now you know better. So go check out the public library. And like I said, we will have them on a whole lot more, because I really want to get behind them and help get some of these groups and programs and different events out that they have. Am I forget? I know there's a whole ton of stuff that we need to get into, but is there anything right here at the end that I forgot that you want to plug on this one, and before we do some individuals in the future?
Well, September is National Library Card Month, so we'd love it if you'd come in to sign up for our card.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm talking to you.
Yes, she is, and she's peer pressured me pretty hard, but in truth be told, I was going to do it anyway, because they've earned it, and they do a good job. My brother, anything I'm forgetting?
Yeah, I would just say check our Facebook page, our Instagram page, victoriapubliclibrary.org. We've always got something going on, and we love to do it for our community.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Thank you again, guys. Your hard work, one more time, is very, very evident. Make sure you take advantage of these things that we have in the community. If you don't go to these places, if you don't go support them and back them, we will lose places like this. Don't be like Caleb and go 30 years without going to a library. Go check this thing out. I'm going to be there a whole lot more now, and it's a jewel that we have that I was unaware of. And so, on that note, guys, one more time, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you at the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in to Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. Make sure you comment down below, like the post, share the post. It really helps the algorithms. If you haven't done so already, make sure you follow our page. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And if you have an event coming on you want featured on Victoria Events, shoot us a message. We'd love to help you get the word out there. Lastly, make sure you support our sponsors. We could not do this show without them, so we're very grateful. Thanks so much, Victoria, and we'll see you at the next one.